Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier here on subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. I'm doing something a little bit unique. It's just a kind of a random hello. Some folks are concerned. They've expressed their concern, family, friends, and others about my whereabouts. I am no longer in the state of Florida just for a few weeks. I am in the wonderful state of Texas, Tejas, Texas. I'm in Texas. It was kind of a sudden departure. There's a film festival that will be playing my movie, Disregard the Vampire, Mike Messier documentary, on Saturday at 11 a.m. here in San Angelo, which I've finally arrived to. I actually made a pretty good time coming here. And then from there, I'll be going to Arlington, Texas, to work on a friend's film. So I'll be in Texas for a few weeks. uh, did not plan this to coincide with this unfortunate storm, hurricane in Florida. Did not plan that, and but that's how it turned out. That here I am in Texas, and avoided the storm. Have not had one raindrop fallen on my head for the last several days. I can give you a little bit of a travel advice if you like. A few things. First off, I've been doing this thing in all of my recent travels where I actually, thanks, Bob. I did get your phone call, Bob. I did call you back and send you a text too, Bob, just so you know, because Bob's one of my good friends that reached out to me. And I did call you back. Um, but I did discover that I've been driving overnight. Like that's how I start my 2 or 3 day trips. I tend to drive overnight one of the nights, and I started driving on Monday night around 8 o'clock. And very good, Bob. I started driving about 8 o'clock, leaving Jacksonville, Florida, Monday night. No traffic. There was a little bit of traffic actually. There was maybe some other people who were leaving Florida too, but just kept driving west, and kind of just discovering that this drive from Florida to Texas is not so bad. It's long, but it's kind of an easy drive. The traffic was consistent, a lot of 2 lane roads, but not the type of Northeast traffic that you might experience in New York. New Jersey is really bad for traffic. Philadelphia stuff, basically, DC, the whole Beltway, that whole area is just, if you can drive through there, if you can drive from New York down the East Coast, everything else, at least for me, has been pretty easy. I saw a recent statistic that 80% of the country, US, United States, 80% of us Americans, United States of Americans, live in half the country. So there's like a line, and it's kind of like where I'm at, like halfway down the map, like halfway from the top of the US to the bottom. There was some YouTube video I started to watch about it, but the guy was going into the very minutia. But I got the point in the first few minutes. So, um, with the exception of California, the East Coast is just so much more populated than like states like Montana and parts of Texas. And here's my second point that I learned today. I almost ran out of gas at one point because there was no gas stations around. I was on this Route 71, and there just stopped being gas stations. Hey, Pat, good to see you there, buddy. Pat, good to see you, Pat. I'm trying to think, were you at that Brodywood thing? Michael A.J. Morris, the Munster movie I saw on Netflix. It was horrible in my book. Please see it, Mikey. And Blondie, first NC movie on stream, buddy. That will be the Marilyn Monroe movie. I'd probably be more interested in seeing that. The Munsters TV show I have good memories of, like the original Munsters. I don't know if I want to see like a degradation of it, but I love the fact that you're saying I saw it. It was horrible in my book. Please see it. Why would I see it if it's horrible? I take your. It's like when you say to your friend, "Man, I think this milk is bad. Why don't you take a sip?" Why would I take a sip of bad milk? You know what I mean? But that's just thanks though. Hey, what's up, Josh? My good friend Josh there, who's quite the wheeler and dealer. down in Florida with real estate, and he has Airbnbs, which if you want to put a shout out to your Airbnb Facebook page, type it up and I'll put it up there for you, buddy. Josh will be coming down to Florida pretty soon, I think, and hopefully you'll time it to avoid any repercussions. I'll be honest, I haven't seen like a lot of weather the last couple of days. I've been driving and sleeping and eating for like the last 36 hours, but I have not seen a lot of like the Weather Channel or videos of destruction. So hopefully there's as little destruction as possible going on in Florida, because I'm still a proud Floridian, although I'm exempt, I guess, from this storm because I'm not there. But my stuff is there, my friends are there, and I have a lot of friends up and down the East Coast. So hopefully people are fine. Michael AJ Norris, some wrestling talk. White Rabbit is getting all hype in WWE. Hope not disappointing. Yeah, well, that's the thing, buddy. I've discovered with WWE that like the more we want them to be good, the less they are. And I knew this would happen when Triple H came in and took over the booking from Vince. There would be like a couple of weeks of excitement, a couple of weeks of everything's different. But from what I've been listening to on the Joe Cronin show and Wrestling Observer Radio, it seems like things are getting to be quite the in the funk again, like in the lame zone. And I just think the big part of that is just the 3 hours of Raw. Just a 3 hour wrestling show on a weekly basis is not a good idea, especially that they're going on 5 or 6 or 7 years of doing 3 hours every Monday night. It's just too many hours. Speaking of which, right now I have this match on, this Juice Robinson against Jon Moxley here on AEW. I think I'm going to go back to that. I might check in later though when the show is over, but I just want to give a shout out to everybody that was worried about me. Nice to see you, Josh, Michael AJ, Bob, and whoever else is checking in. It was kind of a sudden surprise trip, but I'm glad I'm doing it, and I hope everything's good for everybody. I do have good timing, bro. That's true. I even, believe it or not, I slept one night in a fucking rest stop. I got like 6 hours of sleep in a rest stop in Alabama. Like I crossed over the line at like 3 a.m, Tuesday morning into Alabama. I found this really comfortable rest stop and I took a fucking nap in my car. I thought I'd be out for like 20 minutes. I woke up at 9 a.m. I started driving again. Last night I stayed in Lafayette, Louisiana. And now I'm in this wonderful abode here. I mean, it's not bad, actually. The accommodations are pretty nice, the La Quinta. So everything is fine. So thanks for checking in, everyone. And then maybe I'll be back on at 10 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Buy one of my books, MikeMessier.com. Scroll to the bottom. You'll see all the links. Thanks.